and welcome to Autistically Unapologetic, the unfiltered and unmasked podcast about everything autism. Here's your host, Devin Morrissey.
Hi, and welcome to Autistically Unapologetic with me, Devin Morrissey. I want to officially welcome everyone to the 10th episode of this podcast, where today I'm about to interview another guest. Before I do, though, I just want to take this time and this opportunity really quickly to thank everyone who has been so kind and so supportive since the second season of Love on the Spectrum US premiered this past week. I honestly had such a blast shooting this show for a second time in a row, and I hope that you all enjoyed this season just as much as all of us on the cast and crew had such a fun time shooting it. Speaking of Love on the Spectrum, my special guest on this episode is an inaugural cast member on the original Love on the Spectrum. She is going to be sitting down with me today and give more insight to her time on the show and see what she's been up to since. In addition, she's going to be sharing one of her favorite hobbies that I know quite a few out there will agree that you enjoy doing. Please welcome to Autistically Unapologetic, Chloe Hatch. Hi, Chloe. How are you?
I'm really good. I've been doing really well. Thank you.
Awesome. What time is it currently in Australia?
It's 10:30 in the morning on the Friday, the 26th, though.
Holy moly. Well, I really appreciate you coming on. I know that our time differences right now are a little bit on the kind of crazy side, but thank you so much for coming on. And I'm so happy. This is like the first time that I actually get to speak to you. It's hilarious.
I know we messaged a few times, but it's the first time. I'm so excited.
I know. I remember, I think you reached out to me right when the first trailer for the US version dropped. And it's funny because I had seen you on the show prior to any Love on the Spectrum US. But then when the show dropped, I'm like, wait, how the heck do you know me? I should be knowing who you are. I've seen you on my TV and on my phone, on my Netflix accounts. Like, what the heck? Listen, Chloe, I'm so excited that you're here. So I first wanted to just start off by asking, when did you first find out that you were autistic, and what was your reaction to that?
Well, I was diagnosed when I was like 11, 12. But I think like my family, like they knew like way before I was diagnosed. Now I was autistic. Like it was kind of, I showed obvious signs. It's usually like if like with women, like it's hard to like diagnose autism because like I did like it's a lot harder. But for me, it was quite obvious. But like But I got diagnosed when I was 11, 12. I was in secondary school in England. But yeah, I didn't know what autism was. Like, it wasn't really explained to me. So when I got with autistic, I thought like I was dying or something. I thought it was like
you thought
something really bad.
You were dying? Oh my gosh.
Like the hospital room, well not the hospital room, in the GP office, and they were like, Chloe, you could go out if you want, you don't have to hear this if you don't want to. Like there's nothing, like they were like that, and they were like, you have autism, and I'm like, what's that? So oh, don't worry about it, you'll be fine. I'm dead there, like I'm dying, I'm gonna die, oh my god. like it wasn't really properly explained to me, like till I was like 13, 14, so like, oh, this is really bad. But I hate PE, like I hate sports. But I remember going to the teacher, oh, I can't do PE, I got autism. And he said, oh my, this is really bad. And this is when I'm like, oh
my God, using autism to get out of PE, that is brilliant. Tell me a little bit about your life growing up. What was that like for you? I understand right now that you actually live in Australia, but I understand, and I just heard that you actually grew up in England for a bit, which I had no idea. So tell me what that was like.
Well, I moved to Australia when I was 14, in 2014. But but okay, I don't really know. I grew up in England, near Bath, Somerset.
And remind me, where is Bath or how do you pronounce it right?
But It's like in the like it's in the southern part of England, but it's like away from London. But do you know Stonehenge?
Okay, you know what? I've only been to London once, so sadly no, but I think I've heard of
Yeah,
it.
Stonehenge is like this big walk, like it's like rock formation. It's in well, Wiltshire. I lived about 20 minutes away from it.
You serious?
Yeah,
Wow.
in Wiltshire, I lived away. But I'm from Southwick, Wiltshire, but like no one knows where that is, so I usually just say Bath because more people know where Bath is in Wiltshire. But yeah, I live like 20 minutes away from Stonehenge, so it's that.
Nice. That's absolutely incredible. So, some of these episodes that I've mentioned are actually revolving around hobbies and interests, kind of a little bit like this. I previously had some previous episodes with Teo from the Australian Love on the Spectrum, and I had Mr. James from the U.S. version of Love on the Spectrum. And we actually talked a little bit about their hobbies and their interests. Now, many people may or may not know this looking through your social media, but I understand that you are a huge fan of cosplay. So can you explain to all of us that don't necessarily understand what cosplay is, what cosplay actually is?
Oh, because I'm so bad at explaining, but like it's like I'm so bad. But it's basically where you dress up as like a character from like a book or whatever. So you dress up, like and you go to conventions and all that, and you meet up with other people who are dressed like so. I'm really bad at explaining, but yeah, like
No, you're good. What got you into cosplay? Like, what excites you about it?
well, I'm like a massive nerd. Like I'm a massive freak. Like I love anime, like Sailor Moon. I love like I'm a massive nerd, and
Aren't we all massive nerds, though?
yeah, well, yeah, but yeah, so like, and I saw loads of people dressing up as characters. I'm like, oh my god, I want to do that, and like I got into it. Like I made my first costume. Like by hand, it was pretty bad, but like it was like my first. It was bad, Devin.
Oh, come on. Your first costume, you gotta give yourself credit for that now, Chloe. Come on.
Good. Like for my first costume, it was good, but like looking back at like what I can make now, it's like.
I see.
But yeah, and it's just like when you, I don't know, it's weird because when I put on the costume, I can be like the character. I don't have to be me. Like I'm someone else. Well, I'm like someone else. I'm that character, and it just, I don't know. It just feels. I'm a lot more confident when I dress up. Like I can, yeah. I don't know how to explain it. Like,
it brings out the confidence in you that you never thought was actually there.
Yeah.
And speaking of costumes, what are some of your favorite cosplay costumes? Just out of curiosity.
Sailor Venus, obviously.
Sailor Venus. Is that the name?
What?
Sailor Venus? Yeah. I must give you a heads up. I don't really know much about anime other than Pokemon, so.
Oh. I know Yu-Gi-Oh. Sailor Moon is like my ultimate. I have like a whole collection. Like I have so much. Like I collect a lot.
Oh my gosh. What does Sailor Venus look like? Like what is she? Oh wow. Okay.
I can show you my whole collection if you want, but
so when you go to these conventions, do you dress up exactly like that?
Yeah, like I have other costumes, but like because I just conventions last year, so like I only had like this year I have so much planned. Like I have so many costumes. I bought costumes. I have so many costumes I have to make. Like
wow.
But yeah, Sailor Venus.
That's incredible. I can only imagine the hours of effort and work that go in to make these costumes. Because one of my best friends from high school, she's super into cosplay as well, but I never really understood the full linguistics of it. Like I never understood like, oh, you can buy any costume and go, right? But now that you show me, you're like, no, it's not. It's more than that. You actually have to like literally make your entire costume from scratch.
Because well, I got costumes on the go, but I got a concert on Tuesday. I'm going with Amanda, who was one, but I crochet.
Wait, Amanda from Love on the Spectrum?
In the first episode, she was on the date with Michael.
Oh, wait, the same one that they then went to a Comic Con
Yeah,
on their second one?
yeah, that's Amanda. She's like one of my best friends.
Okay,
But
I knew that name sounded familiar, but it has been a long time since I watched the original Love on the Spectrum. I feel like now I need to go back and rewatch it now that we're talking about it.
and like I tried watching it like a year ago, like we watched it a year ago, and I'm like, yeah, no, I can't.
I know, it's the craziest thing. So, like, are you and Amanda going into any conventions soon, or like, what are you guys going to dress up as?
Mentioned like last year, but like this year, like, but yeah, me and Amanda were like she's like one of my best friends, like literally.
Aww.
So no, I got to meet her. Like we are literally like really close, and that's I love her. Don't know if Amanda, I love you.
Oh, shout out to Amanda, hoping that you're listening to this. Are you going to any cosplay conventions this year? Do you have any fun ones
Yeah,
coming up?
I got Generating Games. I got Supernova. I got so many. But
Ooh.
like
Whoa, what on earth?
oh, the League of the Wings for that I don't have therapy. Like I do play League of Legends.
Oh, wow, that's incredible. Wow. So wait, and you put this on the
Yeah,
costume?
they go.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's actually awesome. I think I've seen one of my best friends wear something like that. I don't fully remember, but I think. That's amazing though. So you got these conventions that are coming up, and is that going to be part of your costume?
Yeah, because I know
Ooh.
this year.
Nice. Well, I'm super excited, and I mean, you better be sharing these on social media because world, watch out! Here comes Chloe Hatchin as that type of character.
Yeah.
So the next question I want to ask you is something about that we are both now kind of intertwined sort of as a family. So Love on the Spectrum is an Australian reality TV show that surrounds the lives of autistic individuals as they encounter love, dating, relationships, you name it. So it premiered on Netflix in November of 2019, and you, Chloe, were actually a part of the very first season ever of the entire Love on the Spectrum franchise. I mean, how were you even approached to be on the show in the first place?
It's a long story. Do you want this long story?
Hey, if it's a long story, if it's a short version of that, by all means.
Yeah, so Jimmy and Shanae from the first season and second. So I'm friends with them. I've been friends with them like way before the show. Like I met Jimmy when I was starting year 11 in school, and when I left that school, I became friends with Shanae's brother at a different school. So I knew. So I wish I got them together. Like I wish like I knew them both at the same time. Be like yeah, and like I had the
Oh,
credit, but they found each other. And I was listening. Well, Jimmy was talking to someone about the show. Be like, oh yeah, Thorn is blah 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, I might give it a go. So I applied. Well, sent an email through it, and literally like I think it was like a couple of hours, like 5-6 hours, I got a response. And
really?
they were like, oh, we want to have a call with you. I'm like, okay. Had a call. They were like, okay, we're going to meet you. Like, we want to meet you at a cafe. Met at a cafe. And I'm like, yeah, you're on. Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm like, but I also got Jimmy and Shanae on the show. So they were a couple. And Jimmy and Shanae, they didn't know, like, couples could apply. So
Wait, they had no idea that they were like being considered for the show?
like, but Kian was like, do you know anyone who's autistic or in a relationship? And I'm like, Jimmy and Shanae. And they were like, give me the number. So I gave, so I like, Jimmy, you know that show you were talking about? He's like, yeah. Like, do you want to be on it? He was like, but maybe. But Shanae was all for it. Jimmy was a bit, but yeah.
That's awesome, though, that you were able, in a way, to kind of be like, hey, I have these connects, and I think that these would be a great people for the show. Why don't you bring them on board? But that's incredible, though, that, like, literally within 5-6 hours, you were like, wait, I'm on the show right then and there? Like, how did that happen?
But I think I was the only person in this one who applied and got on because everyone else was scouted. Or like,
Really?
I was the only one who applied applied and got on.
Wow, that's incredible.
And because I found it out like when we did the photo shoot for season 1, like they were like, oh, we went to convention, or I got recommended or whatever. And I'm just there like, oh, was I the only one who applied?
I know, that's really incredible, because when I think about it, like, there's so many people out there that applied for this current season, and I was just blown away by just how many people had actually applied. Just given the success that the US version has now, I mean, it's just like, whoa, like they had like thousands of people applying for the show, and I'm just like, wow, that's a lot of pressure for Keen and the producers, as I can imagine. What was it like to have Netflix and Northern Pictures follow you as you re-entered this complex and sometimes complicated world of dating? Because as I remember, it had been 2 years since you went on a date.
Oh, when I first filmed.
Yeah.
So, because when I first applied, because it was on a new show, it wasn't like Netflix, like it was just like an Australian TV program, like TV, and so ABC, well, which is the Australian broadcasting. I know you have the American one.
Yes.
But yeah, so it was the Australian ABC, and I thought it was just like a little documentary. It's not a little documentary.
No.
Because it came out in Australia at the end of 2019, so like just before the whole
before everything shut down due to COVID.
Yeah, but oh yeah, sorry, I lost track. But so Netflix got it, like, well, bought the rights to it or whatever. And I don't know what happened, but yeah, I think it was like May or something. I don't know when, but it was in 2020, and that was when like everyone was on Netflix and everyone was, it came really, really big.
Yes.
Like it blew up so quick, and I thought it was just gonna be like a little documentary. I didn't know it was gonna be like literally, because there was like celebrities, well, like everyone. And I'm just now like, oh my god.
I know, and I mean, who would have ever thought the fact that it started on the Australian Broadcasting Company and then being able to move to Netflix? I mean, I've been following the show ever since season 1 of the Australian version when it came to Netflix. And it's crazy when you think just about how now it's exploded into this massive franchise, which we're going to get to in a few minutes for all of you listeners out there. But it's just so mind-boggling to think that, like, you were part of the very first season and witnessed just how it's grown and grown. And then literally within the past years, it's just exploded.
I know, like, I never thought like it would be as big as it was. Like, I don't know. I remember when it first came to Netflix, like I got told me to be like, oh yeah, the show going on Netflix. I'm like, wait, what? Wait, what? What? I didn't sign up for it. I didn't know.
I love it. So now, after a successful first season, you actually came back for season 2 of Love on the Spectrum. What was that like for you to return to the show that gave you the confidence to find love?
I guess that originally I wasn't coming back for season 2. Like,
really?
Yeah, no, I wasn't going to come back for season 2. But
this is a podcast exclusive right here. Please share.
Yeah, like after the first season, I was like, yeah, I think my time's on the TV's done. Like, I think I'm good. But they really wanted me to meet. Well, I already met Mark, but like me to go on a date with Mark, and they like get along really well. And I was a bit like, I think like my time's on TV's done. They were like, please. We'll shout you dinner, and I'm like, yeah, okay, free food. I'm English, like I love free food. Like, mention like, oh, we'll buy you something, or you get this for free. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm in. I'm in. Free dinner, okay.
Take opportunities of the free dinners and all the free opportunities that you have when you can get.
Even like when even like someone offers me a pen, I'd be like, yeah, yoink, that's mine now.
Yeah. I know. I just remember reminiscing on the last time that I shot because it was a free drink that we got in the bar. So thank God I didn't have to pay for that. Because I just finished my graduate program. I was paying off student loans. So here's the thing. Both original seasons of Love on the Spectrum were met with a massive audience reaction and huge critical success, not just in Australia, but literally around the world. What was your reaction to the explosive popularity of Love on the Spectrum and now its global franchise?
Oh, like I said before, like I didn't realize it was going to be as big as it was, and it was like kind of like a bit overwhelming. Like especially when it first came on Netflix, like they get loads of messages and it's just like because I know for the US season 2, like with the new people, like they know media's like being blown up and they've been like really overwhelmed and all that. Like, cause it's a lot, like especially when like it first goes, like it's huge.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, because it was sort of like a slow, because we had when it came out in Australia in the on the ABC, like I had like a few people like come up to me and a few people knew who I was, but like it wasn't as big as it was when Netflix got it. Like all over the world, people come up to me. Oh, I got funny. So I got a funny story. So I was at Macca's, so McDonald's. I was in Macca's parking lot waiting for my friend. A car went through the drive-through, and they saw me, and they did a Yui. I'll be like, I know, I saw you. I'm like, oh yeah, and you're like, oh my God, I love you. I'm like, oh, thank you. Like,
I love it. So they literally recognize you out of McDonald's parking lot drive-through.
And kept like there was commotion.
Wow.
Like everyone inside was coming out. They thought I was like someone famous or something because they were asking. Because the lady was like freaking out, getting photos. And they're, oh, can we get a photo with you? Can we get a photo with you? I don't think what? I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. So
I know.
Line of people.
That's amazing though that they recognized you. I mean, especially like after since literally now it's been 5 years since the original Love on the Spectrum premiered. And it's interesting because I was thinking about this the other day when the second season of the US version premiered. You know, I think that we wouldn't all be here right now doing this podcast if it wasn't for the OGs that put this show on the map. I mean, you know, when I think about it, I'm like, well, we wouldn't have if Michael, Mr. A Plus, didn't go on the show. I don't think we will be here. I don't think if you or Jimmy and Charnay or Chris and Ruth am I getting their names right? Chris and Ruth.
Tom and Ruth.
Tom and Ruth. Okay. I am so sorry. Please don't come after me, internet, for that. You know, and Olivia and all Calvin and Maddie and all the other cast members, all of us that are now on this second season and on this first season of the US version, we would not be here. We really owe it to you guys for just even putting this show on the map. And I honestly just think that you guys don't get the recognition I think that everybody in the Australian versions honestly deserve. Because when you think about it, I remember before shooting season 1, I literally had to watch the 2 seasons and be like, okay, this is what to expect, this is what to be prepared. But nothing really prepares you for when you go in, you sit down with the cameras and Kian just yells action. You're just like, you have to act natural. And I'm just like, okay, and natural, how do you say? Because, see, I could have gone on the show, looking the entire drink and be like, all right, way to bring another one. I need to talk to my friend here. You know, and especially this season, I'm not going to say what I did this season. Y'all are going to have to just watch and find out. But now literally, like my own grandma texted me. She's like, you would do something like that on national TV. You would.
Oh my God.
What was your favorite part about shooting not just season 1, but both seasons of Love on the Spectrum? I can imagine you have so many favorite parts from just shooting the show.
Oh my God. That's quite a bit, but like, well, it's not technically shooting, but like, at the end of season 1, we all got together for like a photo shoot for like the like I met everyone and all that. But I went with Jim and Sinead because we live like 5 minutes away. Like we are like yeah. So I remember we were waiting in a room like because we all dressed waiting for like our hair, makeup on. And me, Jimmy, and Sinead were in a room, and Sinead went to go to the toilet, and me and Jimmy were like, oh. Wouldn't it be funny if I got, because it was like a school themed thing, like there was lockers. Wouldn't it be funny if I like tried to climb in the locker and jump out, Sinead?
Oh, bless your heart. How did that turn out?
I was trying to get in the locker, I couldn't. Like I was trying to squeeze myself in the locker, and Sinead walked in and said, "What are you doing?" I mean, Jimmy was just there like, no.
Well, that was a prank that epically backfired.
And like a gavel, like a judge's gavel. And Jimmy was just going, oh, hitting things with the gavel. Oh, we caused so much. Like when we met, and I think he thought, he was like, oh my god, what? Why do we put these things together?
I love it. I love it. Behind the scenes chaos. That's brilliant. I love it. I love it. So as one of the main cast members from both seasons 1 and 2 of the original OG Love on the Spectrum, as we clearly just found out, you are easily very recognizable from the show, still to this very day. What has been one of your favorite fan interactions?
Oh, well, the Marcus one, like now, at the time I was a bit overwhelmed, but like looking back, like now it's funny. There was also another one like at the shopping centre. Like, I'm hard of hearing, like I can't hear very well. And
yes.
I was like shopping, and the security guard was following me and shouting my name, and I couldn't hear. And like I looked over, security guard, he was like huge, like arms crossed, like I've been calling your name, and I'm like, oh my god, I was like freaking out. I'm like, oh my god, what did I do? I didn't do anything, oh my god. And he was like, I saw you on the show. And literally, I'm like, oh god, because he looked like he was like very very like big and all that, like he looked scary, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm in trouble, I don't know what I did. It turns out he just knew who I was, but he was like, Chloe. Like, I've been trying to call you. You ignored me. I'm like, I can't hear. But like, literally, like that scared to live day like that. I mean, I thought I was like gonna get arrested or something. I don't know what I did.
You thought you were gonna get arrested because someone recognized you from the show?
God. And like, he was following me, and I'm like, oh my god, I thought I was gonna get in trouble. I didn't know what I did. He recognized me. I'm like, oh, okay. Like we're friends. Like every time I see him at the shop, we go, hey, like we're good now. But oh my god, when you have like a big security guard.
Oh, I love it.
Because I was like going from mine. I'm like, okay, I didn't push anyone over. I didn't do anything. I didn't hurt anyone. Like I don't know.
No. You were arrested for going on TV without people's permission.
Yeah.
I love it. But that's actually a really funny story, though, that like a security guard out of all people recognized you. That's hilarious. I just remember being in Mexico this past year. It was myself, my girlfriend, and actually Danny and her family came along. We were at this nightclub in Cabo, Mexico for my birthday. And all of a sudden, this couple, they just noticed us and they're like, we've seen you on TV. And I'm just like, wait, you must be talking to them. They're like, well, actually, we're talking to you too. And I'm like, wait, me? How, like, okay, I'm only in one episode from this past season. How do you recognize me out of all people? But I just found it really hilarious that, like, even to this day, people still will, like, recognize anybody from the show who's been on. They'll be like, oh, yeah. Lots. Doesn't matter if they're a random couple from South Dakota or if it's an Australian security guard. They will recognize you if they are huge fans of the show. So speaking of Love on the Spectrum, did you get a chance to watch the US version of the show? And if so, what are your thoughts?
I watched the first season. I haven't got one to watching the second season yet, but I will. I will. Because it's like you sold me. Like when Amy said that your grandma like messaged you, be like, oh no, it's you. I'm like, yeah, I have to watch that. I have to do the chaos.
But what did you think of the US version of the show? Like, what were your thoughts on that?
I really liked it. Like, it was like, well, like it was a shock that, like, obviously like Australia and America, like it's like different countries, and there's like different like customs and all that. Like in Australia, like it felt like very laid back. Like but the American one, it was like watch it. I was a bit of a shock. I'm like, oh my god. But like I was like, I'm really bad at explaining. Like I can't.
No, you're good. You're good.
It was just really different, and like how everyone like acted and like all the people. It was just very different, and I really liked it because it was sort of like I understand why the American one took off like so much more than the Australian one. Like, but yeah, it was a bit of a shock like watching it, like because I was comparing, and you're not supposed to do that, but I do it. I like comparing.
Oh, of course. Me too. Me too.
I was like, that's different. So we couldn't do that in the Australian one, but they did it in the American one. And if I was just watching, I'd just be like, it's different. I'd be like, oh, and they did that. Oh, and I said, nah, okay.
No, it's true. Like I kind of found myself doing the same thing. It's like I was watching the first season with my girlfriend. For instance, like you guys had an entire cast shot. The US version didn't. Sort of how everyone in the country from the Love on the Spectrum US was so spread out, where I feel like Love on the Spectrum in Australia, everyone was so, I feel like much more closer. I could be wrong, so, please correct me if I'm wrong about that. But like you said, like so many different comparisons and contrasts, and especially since you were on the original show, you're like, okay, we did this, but we didn't do that.
I really like Danny because he was like very, very like blunt, like not blunt, but he was very, like honest, and he said what he feels, and like I was watching it, I'm like, oh my god, I could if I did now, oh my god, because I just love how open, like how forward he is, and like he just seems like a really, really nice person, and he just doesn't care what other people think. He just says what he feels, and so when I'm watching her, I'm like, oh my god, I never dream of things.
Absolutely, absolutely. And something that I think that we all agree with is that for everyone who is a main cast member, it takes guts to go on the show. It takes guts to put yourself out there on camera and actually look for love and be authentically autistic while doing it at the same time. See, I don't think that people will ever realize what goes on behind the scenes, that if you actually haven't been in front of the camera to see it for yourself, you don't know what that's like.
Yeah, I could say I get it. Like literally, when I had the camera on me, it was like a practice thing. But even so, I was sweating. I'm like, oh my god, what do I say? What do I say? But like, you get used to it. Like, you get used to the camera. The more you go. Like the first time, it's always daunting. But
yes.
Like the more times, it's sort of like natural, and you like kind of like you don't you don't see the camera in there. It's like you just. So literally, I think the first when I did like the interview of me sitting down all night, and it's like that was like the first thing they shot, and I was very, very nervous, and like I was a bit like closed off, but like you can see like throughout the rest of episode 1 on season 1 and season 2, like I got out my shell, like I was more
it's all good. Just let it out.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just very hard to be yourself on camera.
It
like especially when and there's like an expectation. Like people are gonna watch this. People are gonna judge you. Yeah.
Beyond.
Everyone wants you to be. You can't. It's very difficult. Like first season, like it was very difficult. With like when I was like on dates all night, because I didn't want to like show my real self, because I'm like, oh, people might be, that's weird. But season 2, I didn't. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, no, and you bring up some really great points too. Like I just remember when we shot season 1, I literally was like so caught off guard with the camera right there, because I did not know what I was going to get myself into, let alone how huge season 1 and the US version was going to turn out. So I literally was just like, okay, Just stare somewhere at the wall. Don't you dare look at the camera, because if you look at the camera, they're just going to be like, oh, you're wasting time now. Get the heck off our set. But it's interesting though, because like when you say it, it's like you have to figure out a way to be yourself, and that's what like I love about all the cast members, like the ones that are going on dates. Like they're being authentically themselves. I've actually had a chance to spend time with a lot of the cast members outside the show. What you see from them is what you get. Just like how you spend a lot of time with the cast members in Australia. Like everybody's exactly who they are on what you see on TV, which is incredible. So tell me a little bit about your life right now at this very moment. What are you currently up to? Do you have any future projects in the works?
I have, well, I have a lot of budget, but like I said, I'm going to a concert next week on Tuesday with Amanda, and like I've crocheted my entire outfit for it.
Hey,
Like bag at the moment, because I realized the bag I want to take was too big. I can't get in the venue, so I'm like, okay, I'll just crochet a bag then. Like, yeah, but yeah, I've been crocheting, I've been sewing, but I got a lot of Comic-Con. Like this year,
oh,
I'm really getting into it, so I'm like staying like in hotels, and I'm like going all out. But like it's gonna be fun. But because for the concert, like the hotel was $200, and I'm just like,
oh my gosh, $200?
yeah, in Australian like AU. So I think it would be like 120 USD. I'm not quite sure. Don't quote me on that. But like it, yeah. But like it's not 200 USD. I'm like, oh, that would be like 400.
I
I'm like, oh.
know.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, they got to bring the prices down. We're just working our butts off for money these days.
Yeah. I know, because I think like the Australian dollar's like worth more. So like it, like what, like I think it's almost double. Like I don't know.
Really?
But like I'm not. Yeah, but I think like US $10 is like 17 AU.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's something that I just learned today. So thank you so much for that information.
Don't quote me. I don't know like the price conversion. Don't quote me on that. But like I know it's like there's a big difference.
Worry, I promise I won't. So now, as everybody knows, season 2 of Love on the Spectrum US was just released this past week. And we are now introduced to 3 new main cast members. We got Journey from Chicago, we got Tanner from South Carolina, and we got Connor from Georgia. As a former main cast member yourself on the original Love on the Spectrum, both seasons, what are some tips or pieces of advice that you wish to offer to them as a main cast member yourself?
I messaged Journey. Like
really?
Yeah, I did message Journey. So nice. But yeah, so he told me that he hasn't watched her episodes yet because he couldn't, like bring himself to watch it. And I'm like, oh, same. Like when the first season came out, like I couldn't, like I had to keep pausing and like just stopping. I'm like, oh my god, watch it. But like I gave her some advice, like literally don't force yourself into watching it. Like just take your time, and like you be forced, but like it's so different like when you're on it or people who are on it, because otherwise like with the American version, like I could just watch it, like watch it, but I don't really know anything else American, but like with the Australian ones, like even watch like Amanda's like bit, I'm like I had to keep pausing. I'd be like, oh, I can't do that because I knew quite a few people like with Jimmy and Sinead. Oh my god, no wedding! I love no wedding. I was supposed to go during COVID.
Wait, why didn't you go to their wedding?
COVID. That was like when it got really. Cause me and my friend Brody, we were gonna go. But like literally, they had like family and the camera crew, and that's all they had.
Aww.
Because I really want to go. Because I remember in like Sinead was showing me like a video of her wedding, and I'm just now like, oh my god, so cute. But oh my god, I'm going back, but the engagement. Oh my god, I cried, and I knew Jimmy was gonna. He said he was gonna. And I'm just But
Absolutely.
I know. But when we were on our way to the photo shoot, because I went with them, Sinead showed me the video of me proposing to her. So I saw it before anyone else, and I'm crying. I'm like, oh my god, it is so sweet.
Yeah, I have to say it's really awesome that you and Journey were able to connect already. I feel like you guys are similar in many ways. What pieces of advice for Tanner and Connor would you give if they were listening to this right now?
Oh, the same thing, but don't force yourself to watch the show, because you know what, it just take your time, and it's a lot. Obviously, because it's on Netflix, the attention, it's a lot, and it does get a bit,
Overwhelming.
Yeah, and take a break from social media if you need to. You don't have to read every comment. You don't have to respond to every message.
Yeah.
You can take a few days or a few hours. You can put the phone down, just pretend nothing happened, and
That's
just take a break.
really awesome advice, especially coming from someone who has actually been through this before and knows the ropes and knows the scopes, especially since these are 3 new main cast members, and their lives are now changing literally because everyone now knows them from the show. So I think that right there is, I couldn't have said any better myself. So last question, Chloe, is this: what would you like to say to your fans that have watched you on Love on the Spectrum and have supporting you from all parts of the world, not just Australia, but the entire world?
Thank you. Thank you for watching the show. Thank you for the support. It's nice to know that people like how I was portrayed on the show, and I'm really happy that it got big, because we got the US person now.
Well, listen, thank you all so much for tuning into this episode. If you like what you heard on this episode and want to hear other episodes or stay tuned for future ones, be sure to comment, and subscribe to this podcast. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Thank you all so much for listening to this episode of Autistically Unapologetic. I'm Devin Morrissey, and I'll see you next time on Autistically Unapologetic.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Autistically Unapologetic with Devin Morrissey. If you like what you hear and you want to see more, don't forget to rate and subscribe to stay tuned for future episodes. Again, thanks for listening.